I decided I want to scale, try to get out the great scale, the power scaling scale of Joseph's plot armor at the end of part 2. Because man, oh man, I seen a video, and I was going to make a completely different video too, but I seen a video where it was just like, they were like, how the hell did Joseph survive this? And it showed his arm magically holding the red stone of Aija out of instinct. And it got me thinking, like, if we were to actually scale it, right? Scale his plot armor. Because I'm not just going to do part 2. I'm going to do part 3 too. I'm going to do part 3 too. I mean, you could do a little bit of part 4, but I'm not finna sprinkle no part 4, just part 2 and 3. And really, where should I start? Do I start at when he first met the Pillarmen and they completely outclassed him, and he basically got his hit. He got his lick. Don't get me wrong. He got his lick on, was it AC/DC? It was either AC/DC or Ramu. I think it was Ramu though. He got his lick. Then they put poison on his heart and shit, but they didn't kill him. Usually, especially when we saw them pop out, they killed like 30 people just arriving. And they were down there. They didn't die. Only because he had unlimited potential and they really want to know how much he could fight. Which basically means, hey, you're getting a bailout this time, but don't do it again. But what did Joseph do? He did that shit again. But next time, his fight against AC/DC is not a plot, not as pool plot armor or anything, right? That was pure. Not gonna lie, pure. Even to the point where even when he beat him physically, this man's brain was still attached to him, so it was still like a deep, long ass fight. I was editing, but I also forgot to mention that this man walked around 1940s New York with a Tommy gun stuffed somewhere on him, because we don't know where the fuck he pulled that shit out of. Yeah, he had a Tommy gun. But after he finally gets rid of AC/DC, next time he encounters a Pillarman was in, what was it, Switzerland, when they were trying to get the red stone of Aija from the Nazis. I don't know if I can fully say that on YouTube, but yeah, they were trying to get the red stone of Aija, and they ended up working with them to fight against the Pillarmen. And honestly, I can't say it's an ass pull, because Stroheim was doing extraordinary things at that point. But of all the ass pull moments in part 2, there may be like 3. As I'm racking my brain going through them, it may be 3. The main ones are, of course, the first one that I mentioned, where he should have realistically should have died. But again, this is an anime. I can't be too mad at that. That's a common ass pull. That's like a C tier ass pull. You know what I mean? It's when we get to anything with Cars and Joseph, because I'm sorry, but Cars had literally every type of leverage ever both times he fought Joseph, and still somehow he lost. The first time, maybe you can blame it on his ignorance and arrogance, and even though this man is supposed to be superhuman intelligent, come on, like, Joseph's smart as shit, don't get me wrong, and he was just purely outsmarting them. But it was also like, Cars, you don't think in desperation Joseph would be trying whatever the fuck he could? Okay. But when they were on that pillar fighting, it was still pretty somewhat standard. It was only when he fell and then he finally becomes perfect. Everything after that is ass pull city. You're telling me this man was so intensely focused on the aircraft that you were flying that, for one, he didn't even pay attention where the actual aircraft was going. He didn't even pay attention to the geography around the aircraft. And then for two, he falls for a dummy parachute falling out the sky, so you can then steer your fucking plane into him. Like, against someone with average intelligence, I feel like that's a great plan. But against someone like Cars, I feel like that plan literally had me like, that caught him? Because of all the things we had seen that caught him, that almost killed him, flying a plane into his chest, into a volcano. And then Joseph, luckily, again, asshole time, someone comes to save Joseph. Stroheim comes to save Joseph, where in the process, Stroheim breaks off both his legs. Okay. Stroheim's supercharged. He's a supercharged superhuman. Of course he can do that. Like, I'm sorry. That's one thing that has always gotten to me. Like, Cars has the DNA of... He's the perfect being. He has the DNA of every animal on the planet. Some animals have very improved fucking eye vision? When he's flying up to the parachute decoy... Like, y'all can tell me in the comments if I'm tripping, but I feel like I'm not tripping. I feel like in this situation, I'm not tripping. I'm not. But Joseph, they're about to walk off, you know, think Cars is defeated or whatever. Cars pops out the fucking volcano, cuts Joseph, what was it, his, like, arm and leg, part of his leg? Wasn't it part arm, part leg? Pretty sure he did that. So Joseph is, like, he's at, like, 2.5 limbs. You know what I mean? So, after he does that, you're thinking it's over. There's literally no viable way Joseph can get away. Cars is standing over the top of him, making fun of him. This time, Joseph literally cannot have a plan. He has no resources. They're at a volcano. What is he going to do? What is he going to do? Just for Joseph to instinctively, as said, instinctively throw his hand up so that Cars would hit. He would use Harmon to hit the red stone, super red stone of Aja, causing the volcano to erupt, making them fly into the air, where a flying hand also hit Cars in the throat while debris was flying at him, knocking him out of orbit. Joseph severed flying hand flew up from the volcano and caught Cars in the neck, helping him be knocked off orbit. Do you hear how crazy that shit sounds? And then with part 3, I only want to talk about one thing in part 3. One specific thing in part 3. The fact that during the Jotaro fight, this nigga is essentially drained like a fucking raisin of all of his blood. Just for they get in the helicopter. I'm pretty sure Jotaro gave him blood or something. Someone gave him blood. They resuscitate. They somehow figure out a way to resuscitate this nigga. This nigga had to be dead for like 10 minutes, 15 minutes, maybe 20. Matter of fact, like he was dead. We saw the golden cloud and everything. We seen this nigga float away. He even did the flying away. He was dead, but not anymore. Not any fucking more. And really, that's all I got. If I had to scale that. His plot armor, I think that makes Joseph multiversal. Him reacting to any Cars attack makes him faster and light, and his durability is outerversal. Yeah. That's how we're scaling it, buddy. But if you did enjoy this video, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. You know, we're on the road to 10,000 subscribers, so anything helps. And until next time, peace.